Hey everybody, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my easy cooking channel tonight. I've been making a lot of Asian foods lately, Thai, Malaysian, and all of a sudden this last week I got a quick email from somebody that said, well, how's about some more Korean food? It's been a while. So I thought, wow, okay, it really has been a while, and I really do enjoy Korean food. And I thought, well, it's really hot here. I mean, we've had some really hot days here in Vegas. 117-degree days, 50, 60% humidity. It's like living in Florida. So I thought, well, let's make something cooling and refreshing. So I thought I would make some kimchi. And I know everybody goes, whoa, kimchi, that's hot and spicy. But not all the time. You know, you can make kimchi with a lot of pepper flavor without burning yourself out with heat. So I thought this week I would make two kimchi recipes. One is called cucumber kimchi or Oi Sobagi kimchi. And the other one is turnip kimchi or Ggakdughee kimchi. And you'll have to forget or forgive my dialects or accents, they're not the best. But cucumber and turnip kimchi, very cooling, very refreshing on a hot summer day, served with some yakitori or some grilled pork, chicken, beef, wrapped up in lettuce like the Koreans do, with some garlic in the sauce, just delicious. So as usual with YouTube, let's get going and let's make some kimchi, and I'll see you in a second. The first order of business when making cucumber kimchi is to cut the cucumber. These are pickling cucumbers or Kirby's, okay? And you see that I've cut them about 1/2 inch from the bottom, lengthwise, okay, so that I have this little pocket, okay? Now, what's necessary to do with all of these cucumbers, okay, is to salt them on the inside, and on the outside I'm using some coarsely ground sea salt, and I'm just going to get some of that into the pocket, okay, because these cucumbers are going to sweat from the salt, okay. So I'm just going to get that in there, rub it in there, okay, get some in there, there we go. I got about 10 cucumbers here, and just drop them in there. You want to make sure that as you drop them, they cover the whole surface of the inside there. Okay. There you go. Okay. And you want to cover the outside as well. The salt's going to make them sweat. There we go. There we go. You might get some salt on the counter. That's okay. Okay. It's going to clean right up. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to salt these cucumbers, okay? I'm going to let them sit for about, the minimum is about 10 minutes, okay, like this, okay? But I'm actually going to let them sit for about 30 minutes and weep, okay? Get some more salt in there. Usually about a tablespoon per pound of cucumber. I'm going to use a little bit more, okay? Swap up some position here, okay? Get a little more salt in there. We're going to rinse it out so you don't have to worry about, you know, salt poisoning or anything like that, all right? So about 2 or 3 tablespoons, okay? And I'm going to let these sit and weep, okay? And then I'm going to rotate them, okay? And let them weep some more. So I'll actually have these here for about 30 minutes. Now, while the cucumbers are sweating with the salt, I thought that I would make the filling and let it sit for a while. And so basically, what the filling is some slivered carrot, okay? 1 to 2 medium slivered, okay? You could julienne, you could do whatever you want, okay? 1/2 of a slivered brown onion, or you could use a red onion, about a cup, you know, about a cup of onion, okay? And then these green slivers I have here, it's called gochu, okay? Gochu is garlic chives, and they are delicious. And if you can't get garlic chives in your area, that's okay. You could use large Chinese green chives, okay? You could use American chives, okay? And if you can't get chives at all, you can just sliver up some scallions. Now to that, I'm going to add some fish sauce, okay? A little bit of salt to get them to wilt, okay? A little bit of sesame oil, okay? There we go. Actually, that was a little soy sauce. Excuse me, that was the brown sugar. So, a little brown sugar and water, okay? To loosen it up. There it is, okay? And then there was the sesame. And here's some rice vinegar, all to get this to loosen up, okay? Get one more piece of carrot, okay? And we're gonna toss this, okay? The salt from the fish sauce will get these vegetables to loosen up and sweat and get flavorful, okay? They're flavorful already, but we're also gonna add some ginger, okay? About a 2-inch piece, finely minced. Some garlic to taste, anywhere from 3 or more cloves of garlic. That depends on your tastes. I happen to be using a lot of garlic, probably about 6 or 7 cloves, okay? Because even though this isn't going to be a hot kimchi, I still happen to like the taste of garlic, okay? And we're gonna roll this together. Here we go. It's already starting to sweat, okay? Now to that, just for a little bit of spice, this is gochugang, okay? Korean red chili paste that I've diluted in some water to get it to move around, okay? Just a little bit, and just a little touch of water, okay? And I'm going to move that around, okay? Get it to coat. It's going to add just a little bit of spice without being overwhelmingly hot, because to tell you the truth, when you go to your Asian market and you buy gochugaru, Korean chili powder, coarse ground, it says it's hot, but I haven't had a brand yet that was really hot. And the funny thing is that all the Korean chili pepper powder is grown in China. Go figure. All right, so 1 cup gochugaru, that is coarsely ground Korean chili pepper flakes. Okay, gonna mix that in here. Okay, there we go. And as the salt from the fish sauce sweats the veggies, this will move a lot easier and become nice and coated. All right. If you have to add a little more water, as I do in this case, about 1/4 cup in total, okay? There we go. This is a lovely vegetarian dish, by the way. Okay, kimchi of all kinds. Oh, it's beginning to smell good. Kimchi of all kinds is a really good dish, okay, for vegetarians. Now, I'm going to probably have to add a little more water to get this paste to come to, okay? But in total, when you do it, no more than 1/4 to 1/2 cup. There we go. See, because the salt is going to start sweating water from the vegetables. So, hang tight and we'll be moving on. While the cucumbers are still softening and this filling is resting, one other component that I do add to this filling. This is 1/4 cup. This is 1/4 cup of Korean doenjang, soybean paste, okay? It's not miso. A lot of people confuse it with miso. It's not miso. It's close. It's actually a lot stronger, a lot smellier than miso. There's more probiotics in doenjang than there is in Chinese or Japanese miso, okay? And I prefer it over Chinese or Japanese miso. But it is very strong. It is quite pungent. If you're not used to it, you might not like it. Okay? But I mix some of it in here because it is a fermented product, and it does help with the fermentation process of this dish, along with a little anchovy paste. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I'm going to mix this in, and then I'm going to let this sit for about 30 minutes to about an hour, or at least until those cucumbers soften up to my satisfaction. I usually like my cucumbers softer than harder. They'll still have a nice crunch, no matter what. They'll still have a nice crunch. And I'll get that anchovy mixed in here, add a little more water, and we'll be moving on. All right, time to go on to the next step. This is my oisobagi filling. It's been sitting here on the kitchen counter for about an hour. I've been stirring it about every 10 to 15 minutes. And right here is my oisobagi cucumber, okay, which has been sitting and resting for about an hour, got nice and wilted and salted. And now what we need to do is we need to stuff the cucumber with the stuffing. And that's a very simple matter to do, okay? We just put it in, okay? We just put it in, okay? Make sure that all 4 fans of the pickle are open. Some of it's going to hang on to the sides, and that's okay, okay? That's all right, okay? Here we go, okay? This is basically one stuffed cucumber, okay? This is not a beauty contest, by the way. This is just a stuffed kimchi cucumber, okay? Okay? This is the first one, okay? I have 9 more to do, okay? So I'm gonna get to it, and then when it's all done, you'll see what it looks like. Oh yeah, smells good, looks good, has to be good. Here we go, there we go. Lovely, just lovely. Pepper gets to the hands a little bit, and I don't have any plastic gloves, so I'm gonna have to rinse my hands off. All right, time to make our second variety of kimchi tonight. Turnip kimchi, or Ggakdughee. Okay, this here is thinly sliced turnips that I peeled, cut in half, and cut lengthwise into these half moons, and a couple of radishes, okay? And I'm going to salt, okay? The kimchi, the turnips and the radishes, okay? And I'm gonna toss them a little bit to get them all coated. There we go. There we go. Once again, I'm using coarsely ground sea salt. You could use regular table. That's all right. About 1 tablespoon per pound, and there's about 2 pounds here. So about 2 tablespoons of salt, okay? And I'm just gonna toss this like so, okay? Nice and well coated. And I'm gonna let this turnip and radish sit for about 30 minutes, okay? I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes and weep and really get tender, and I'm gonna move on to making kimchi paste. All right, so while the turnips are sitting and sweating with the salt, I'm gonna make some kimchi paste, okay? So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some ginger, okay? And some garlic, okay? And some rice vinegar, and some fish sauce. Actually, that was the sesame oil. And the fish sauce. A little bit of brown sugar. Some radish slices. Okay, and I'm going to pulp these up. Okay. I'm just going to pulse it. Nice pulpy liquid. And to that pulpy liquid, I'm going to add some pepper to this one because I I like heat in my kimchi. Okay, and some gochugaru. Okay, coarsely ground Korean chili flakes. Okay, cap goes back on. I'm going to grind this into a nice thick paste, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Right now I'm mixing 1 tablespoon of rice flour to a half a cup of water to make some rice glue. Okay, this rice glue will help the pepper and everything else stick to the turnip kimchi. So I need to bring this up to a boil, and then I need to let it cool. Alright, my rice glue is done, and the way you can tell is by dipping the spoon, and see how it sticks to the spoon? That there is glue for kimchi. So I'm going to move on to the next step. Alright, I've added the rice glue to my kimchi paste mixture, and I'm going to mix that in to the pepper and the garlic and the ginger, the sesame oil, the fish sauce. Okay, here it is. This is kimchi paste at its best. Okay, now I've got that rice glue mixed in really well, and I'm going to let this sit for about another 20 to 30 minutes because I'm still waiting for the turnip slices and the radish slices to sweat, and then I'm going to mix it up and we're going to have turnip kimchi. Alright, the turnips and the radishes have been soaking, been salted, sitting there sweating for about, I let it sit for about an hour, and I just rinsed it off, and now I'm going to spoon in my kimchi paste. Okay? This is going to be so good. Alright. You can smell the garlic, sesame oil, fish sauce. Alright. There we go. There's the kimchi paste. Now I'm going to give this a couple of turns with the spoon. I could use my hands, and I'm going to use my hands, but I want to get it in there first with the spoon. Okay, there we go. It coats nice and even. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now it's time to get in there with the hands. Alright. Now it's time to get in there with the hands. There we go. Coat the turnips, radishes. Oh yeah. There we go. You could put other stuff in here too, like slivered carrot. I didn't want to do that, but I did want to put some spring onion, but not wilted spring onion, fresh spring onion. Scallions. Okay. They'll wilt in here because of the salt content from the fish sauce. Alright. They're all nice and well coated. There we go. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to let this sit for about 30 minutes to an hour to let the flavors marinate, and then I'm going to put some in a bowl. There you have it, guys. The finished product. Turnip kimchi. Ggakdughee kimchi. It's really delicious. I hope you try it, and I hope you try the Oiso박이 kimchi. So, I'm going to make some rice and have me some dinner. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you make these kimchi recipes, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.